was still tracing the lines of our palm, thinking the storm had turned into a calm. I bought the groceries for dinner tonight, planting the candles and dimming the light. The calendars are marked with the trips we would take. I was building a life that I didn't think would break. Your coat was still hanging right next to mine. Everything looked like a beautiful sign. We laughed at a joke just a second ago. How was I supposed to ever really know? The shift was so subtle, a breath in the air. One moment you're home and the next you're not there. And I didn't see it ending, I didn't see the fall. I was busy hanging pictures on a crumbling wall. I was looking at the sunrise, blinded by the glow. Never felt the winter starting under the snow. It's a different kind of heartbreak, a sudden cold blow. 'Cause I never imagined a world without you. Now I'm replaying the tapes in my head, searching for warnings and things that you said. Was it the silence or the way that you turned? Was I ignoring the bridges we burned? It feels like a movie where the screen just goes black, with no to be continued and no turning back. They say you should see it, the cracks in the glass, the slow motion shadows as the seasons all pass. But I was so certain, I was so deep in love, that I never looked down at the ground from above. Yeah, I didn't see it ending, I didn't see the fall. I was busy hanging pictures on a crumbling wall. I was looking at the sunrise, blinded by the glow. Never felt the winter starting under the snow. It's a different kind of heartbreak, a sudden cold blue. 'Cause I never imagined a world without you. I was still looking forward while you were looking away. I was still planning tomorrow on our very last day. Didn't see it, I just didn't see it. I painted on a pretty face today, wore the dress that hides the pain away. Laughed a little louder than I should, fooled them all the way I knew I would. But when I drove home through the fading light, hands were shaking, barely holding tight. Parked outside and sat there in the dark, with 1,000 pieces of a broken heart. Nobody asked if I was really okay, so I just kept on playing the part of a girl who's healing, girl who's moving on. When I'm barely holding up the dark, I'm crying without sound, when nobody can find me, wrapped up in the quiet that you left behind me. No screaming, no shaking, just still and alone, crying without sound, in a house that's not a home, crying without sound. I deleted half our photos yesterday, then I sat and stared at where they used to stay. Typed your name and stopped before I pressed, put the phone down on my aching chest. I remember every little thing you said, every promise living in my head. They felt like forever when you spoke. Now they're just the edges of a joke that isn't funny anymore. I keep the windows open just in case your memory needs somewhere left to breathe. 'Cause if I close it all up, lock it tight, then I have to finally believe that you're really gone. I'm crying without sound when nobody can find me, wrapped up in the quiet that you left behind me. No screaming, no shaking, just still and alone, crying without sound in a house that's not a home, crying without sound. I used to think that crying meant the tears running down your face for all to see. Grief is so much quieter than that. It just lives and breathes inside of me. It hides behind the coffee in the morning. It hides inside the laugh I fake at noon. It curls up in the corner of my bedroom, and it hums the melody of you, and nobody sees it. Nobody drowning, wearing her prettiest clothes. I'm crying without sound when nobody can find me, wrapped up in the quiet that you left behind me. No screaming, no shaking, just still and broken down, crying the invisible tears of a love that's lost and found its way into my without sound. Can you hear it? Can you hear me crying without sound? I gave you every open door, laid my heart down on the floor. Thought if I loved you hard enough, you'd meet me there. But you stood still on the other side, with nowhere left for me to hide. I reached for you through all that space and touched the air. I was falling, 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 hoping you would catch the weight. But I looked down and realized I was falling much too late. I fell alone into a love that only I was living. I fell alone into a heart that wasn't really giving. I gave you everything I had to give, every broken, beautiful piece, and you just watched me fall without a word, without a reach. I fell alone, so alone. I memorized the way you breathe, the little things you never seen. I noticed every shift in you before you knew. I saved the messages you sent, replayed each word and what it meant, and built a hope forever out of something you just threw. I was calling, calling, calling your name into the silence deep, and you were there but never present, close enough to hurt, too far to keep. I fell alone into a love that only I was living. I fell alone into a heart that wasn't really giving. I gave you everything I had to give, every broken, beautiful piece, and you just watched me fall without a word, without a reach. I fell alone. myself for staying long after I knew I saw the signs on Sunday mornings. When you look right through my face, I stay because I love the idea of you filling up this space. But you can't love a girl to life if love was never there. And I can't keep on falling into arms that aren't aware I deserve someone to fall with me, to reach and catch and hold. Instead I hit the ground alone and learn what loneliness is told. I fell alone into a love that only I was living. I fell alone into a heart it wasn't really given. I gave you everything, I gave you all of me, every scar, every dream, every plea, and you just let me fall like I was nothing at all. I fell alone, I loved alone, I broke alone. Maybe one day someone will fall with me, fall beside me, fall and reach for me. But you let me fall alone, so alone, alone. The curtains dance, but the air is still. I'm leaning on the windowsill, watching the street lamps amber glow on a street where we used to go. Your toothbrush sits in the ceramic tray. I couldn't throw the ghost of us away. The house is full of things we bought, but empty of the peace I sought. I'm whispering to the hallway floor, just to hear a sound behind the door. Now it's just your voice in empty places, a flicker of light on familiar faces, the softest hum in the dead of night, like a faded star that's lost its light. I'm tracing the shape of where you stood in the cold linoleum and the polished wood, lost in the echo of a broken grace, hearing your voice in every empty space. I left the radio playing low to hide the fact that I let you go, but every melody sounds like yours, and every breeze sounds like closing doors. The silence is a hunger, it's a hollow sound, waiting for your feet to touch the ground. Is it a haunting or a sweet release to have this noise and never have the peace? I'm calling out to a hollow room. All the winter flowers forget to bloom. Now it's just your voice in empty places, a flicker of light on familiar faces, the softest hum in the dead of night, like a faded star that's lost its light. I'm tracing the shape of where you stood in the cold linoleum and the polished wood, lost in the echo of a broken grace, hearing your voice in every empty space. Just a breath, just a sigh in the corner of my eye, your voice in the empty. I still buy the tea that you used to like, I still leave the porch light on at night. Sometimes I forget and I start to call, and I see your picture there on the wall. The silence is heavy, it's a physical thing. say that let go is a brave design, but I'm still tracing your palm in mine. I'm holding on to the ghost of a ghost, the version of us that I needed the most. No, I wasn't ready to lose you yet, to live in the space of a deep regret. I wasn't ready for the used to be, for half of my soul that you took from me. The world keeps moving, the clocks all spin, but I'm stuck in the breath that you're not in. My heart is a house with an open door, because I wasn't ready to want you more. The movies we started are paused on the screen, like 1,000 moments left in between. I'm wearing your sweater to feel your warmth, but it's just a fabric, it's got no pulse. I'm learning the hard way how shadows grow when the only light you had has to go. Is there a map for a heart that's torn, for the cold that comes with a lonely morn? I give up the stars just to hear you speak, to feel your hand against my cheek. No, I wasn't ready to lose you yet, to live in the space of a deep regret. I wasn't ready for the used to be, for half of my soul that you took from me. The world keeps moving, the clocks all spin, but I'm stuck in the breath that you're not in. My heart is a house with an open door, because I wasn't ready